Hello again. Today we're going to do the contemporary commentary on Beowulf, written by the translator of this famous work, Bertrand Russell. If you remember, we read something about Bertrand Russell when we did the 3 lyrics in the first term. Beowulf, a legendary tale, larger than life. Beowulf is a sweeping, action-packed narrative. It's a story which is full of action, written in highly dramatic language. Its characters are almost kings, princes, and their heroic followers, noblemen. The plot is energized by a pair of powerful man-eating monsters, Grendel and its mother, and at the end we have a greedy, fire-spouting dragon. All three evils are killed by the poem's principal character, the protagonist, Beowulf, who possesses magical qualities of his own, like what? He can swim for days on end. He can breathe for extended periods underwater. Superhuman powers, as you can see. His very name tells us in 3 ways that he is no mere human. He is a superhuman creature. He is Beo or bear. He is also wolf or wolf. And most important of all, his name does not begin exactly as his father's name. Edgetho, for everyone in Anglo-Saxon England, this break, when your name doesn't begin with the same letters your dad's name begins with, this is something distinctive. This break in tradition would have been a dead giveaway of Beowulf's extraordinary character. This means he has an extraordinary character. A grand beginning. The story crackles with wonderfully calculated suspense. The hero himself is not introduced at the start. As we said, this is one of the conventions or traditions of an epic. The plot starts medias res, in the middle of things. Man-eating Grendel, the story begins with Grendel, the monster. Man-eating monster takes the stage, emerging out of the kind of darkness and terror in which Anglo-Saxon life was steeped. Beowulf comes to help the besieged King Hrothgar. His exciting travel over the deep waves, this is Bertrand Russell saying, was the first part of poem I read over 50 years ago, when he was a student. The poem carefully explains his heroic, profoundly or deeply social motives, offering himself as a potential sacrifice to Grendel. He fights with and tears an arm off the monster. He tears an arm off the monster, who flees, who escapes back into darkness to his mother. Everyone is overjoyed. There is much celebrating until Grendel's mother entered the scene to have revenge for her son. Hungry, literally of course, for revenge, for blood, Beowulf promptly accepts the challenge, and after killing a large number of people, she dived back into the cave under the lake. He dived far down into the water, finding the lady demon, this devil, and in the end killing her in a very close fight. Loaded with praise and gifts, the king Hrothgar loaded him with praise and gifts. He returns to his own kingdom, to whose throne he succeeds. He becomes the king himself in his homeland after that. The passage of time. 50 years later, Beowulf gets old, and his land is terrorized, is attacked by a fire-breathing dragon. Unlike a good king, and like some of the bad kings in the poem, the dragon fiercely guards. The dragon has a treasure and never shares its treasures. Okay? He guards and never shares with anyone. He doesn't let any creature to take any gram of his treasure. Beowulf does not hesitate, but he is old and not as strong as he was. Significantly, he must have help, and is so badly burned that after the dragon is dead, in the fight with the dragon burns with its fire, burns Beowulf, and Beowulf kills the dragon. Beowulf too dies. His people give him a royal burial and a monument. They build something for him and sing the praises due to a fearless ruler, who so totally embodied the virtues of a working king or a warrior king. The spirit of Beowulf. Beowulf is not a pagan poem. By Beowulf here we mean the poem, not the epic, not the person. It is not a pagan poem. Why did you say that? Because there are no pagan gods, no idols, no wanton human sacrifices. Wanton means without care. Anglo-Saxon England had long since been Christianized when Beowulf was composed. When the writer of Beowulf, we don't know who wrote Beowulf, by the way, the original writer. When the writer composed it, England was a Christian country. But the epic is primarily concerned with social, not religious issues. So this epic is concerned with social, not religious issues. Still, if not overtly Christian, if it's not very religious, Beowulf's close identification with ancient Hebraic ways of life marks it as very much an Old Testament poem. You feel as if this poem is an Old Testament poem. There is a religious touch about it. The use of the words Almighty God clearly and repeatedly evoked. Almighty God, this is something religious, operates ethically and holds human to high moral standards. The creation story of Genesis, this is another thing, another proof, is beautifully paraphrased. Hell, we have also the mention of hell. Hell is cited as the home of evil. The Abel and Cain, this is number 4, tale is mentioned explicitly, clearly. And just as evil is punished, good prevails. Okay? The message is that men must learn to behave responsibly and to love and be faithful to one another, exactly as Beowulf has shown that they can do. Here we have some questions about the commentary. What was the first part of Beowulf that Bertrand Russell read when he was swimming to help the king Hrothgar? Based on Raphael's introduction, what aspects of the poem do you think led to his lifelong interest in Beowulf? Maybe the values it carries and the courage of the hero, Beowulf. What specific details of the poem allow Raphael to say so definitely that Beowulf is not a pagan poem? As he said, we don't have any pagan gods or wanton sacrifice or idols to be worshipped. Analyze what might the religious dimension of Beowulf tell us about the culture that produced it. We said that they mentioned the Almighty God, hell, Cain and Abel, or Abel and Cain, and so on, which means it was a religious society, and the values they carried at that time, religious values, the good is rewarded and the evil is punished, and so on. Thank you very much. This is the end of our lesson today.